You start out with the line. You said the list has you top 5 underrated. That's on you don't stop. So we did a competition, Ambrosia for Heads, back in 2015, where we instead of having pundits talk about it, we let millions of fans kind of decide who was the GOAT MC. Although we all know that there's many GOATs out there.
Yeah.
And one of the themes that we saw is that a lot of artists like Andre 3000, Black Thought, yourself, left out of that conversation. So. What do you think? How do you think being in a group has impacted how people perceive you guys, you as an MC?
It has. I've seen people be eloquent about it. They were like, "Yo, De La is who they are. No one can top them on creativity and this, that, and the third." But they'll be like, but Pos and Dave has each other. Like they'll compare us to like the Locks, where the Locks got each other, but maybe the Locks will do a bunch of solo albums and they'll carry something on their own. So they'll actually say that since we're not necessarily carrying so much on our own, or like the members of Wu have solo stuff, like that's why we didn't make it. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I've seen the way people break things down, and I don't take none of that to heart at all. But it is funny how people will go out their way to tell me how underrated I am. And I don't necessarily pay attention to it. It was just that so many people will always say it. So I that's why I wrote it. Like, I guess I'm one of the top 5 underrated. Like, because people always say that about me.
I feel like them statements are hypocritical because we already know there's MCs from groups that don't get included in that list. But then unless it's Melly Mel, who's from a group,
right?
Or Grandmaster Caz, who is from a group. There's been selective MCs from groups that get anointed that in that top whatever list. And I don't know why. I throw it around in my head. Maybe it was a time period that they represented that was, they were like a one of few. And was so great, But it's hypocritical of the fan, the audience, to deem that, when we all we focus is on is the solo MC, So that means Melly Mel shouldn't be in that list. Not, I'm not saying that, but based on the criteria and how they present
it's not consistent.
It's very inconsistent. So it's highly, highly subjective to me. Especially when there's also been some solo MCs that don't even have a large body of work.
Right.
That also get deemed that as well.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very subjective to me.
Well, as people who are considered to be underrated, who would y'all say is truly underrated as MCs? Like, who would you give shine to?
I always would say Master Ace, straight up. And he has a large body of work. To this very day, he's about to put out another album, But due to the landscape of the industry, you don't really know that. But if you really tap into his body of work,
crazy.
He's one of the most underrated MCs, and he's still fresh to this day. He's
consistent.
not dated. Extremely consistent.
Brooklyn
and
Project.
I can go down the line with more
yeah.
MCs. I even felt like King T was underrated.
Indeed.
West Coast.
Had he not had a bad accident, DOC. You know what I mean?
Still another pen games. And
if we're including MCs that haven't had a large body of work, then he's one of the ones that should be on that list. To have changed the game of MCing. You know how many syllables he used?
Crazy. I remember that clip of Eminem trying to rhyme at his scheme, and he's like, "I can't do it." What about you, Pos? Who would you say is underrated?
Oh man, it's too many, man. I feel like you leave somebody out. I mean, there's just dudes that I just felt like when I listen to them, they exemplify just like not only all the criteria that people mention of what an MC should be, but also in the game, the long game, like their tenacity, none of it fades. Like Royce the 5'9", like he's bananas. Like it's just people like that I just look at and I was like, yo, man, like no
people
matter.
People like that makes the list change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because then
somebody gotta get kind of knocked off for somebody like that.
And then that's where, like we said, it's all subjective, because then you have people be like, well, no, because he's lyrical. Yeah. You need the people who's lyrical, but
you gotta have a club record too.
They got the club record. Yeah. Everyone listens. Yeah. No, it ain't necessary about all who listens. It's just all about the concentration of what it is. It's like you don't. I mean, I know like maybe Michael Jordan is graceful getting the shot in versus when Larry Bird just chucked it up, but the shot went in. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's nailing the shot? It's like people are just. It's when it comes to this game, it's very subjective.
Yeah.
Like Black Thought always been in that top 5 or top 10.
Yeah.
But when he got more notoriety, why?
Because he started doing more solo projects. Yeah. Yeah.
And the platform he's on, that people see him more.
There you go. That too.
Yeah.